welcome to this week's Weird Wednesday. In this week's show, we're going to be talking about Canadians eating GM salmon, a Jurassic crocodile, drunken goldfish, and plenty other stories. So let's dive in. So the first one is finding Nessy. A New Zealand geneticist, Neil Gamel, is looking to trawl Loch Ness for DNA from excrement, urine, and even dandruff.
Oh, what?
So basically,
You said Loch Ness, and my brain automatically just turned off.
So basically, their plan is that Loch Ness has been existing for years, and all of the dandruff and lost skin cells and excrement has been sort of shedding off, and that will settle down to the bottom. They're basically going to go to Loch Ness, scrape it all up, and analyze it for DNA to prove whether Loch Ness exists right now, ever existed. It's a plan. So the article goes on to say how concerns were raised after 8 months have passed with no sightings of Nessy.
Oh, come on!
2016 was a record-breaking year with a massive 8 sightings of the Loch Ness monster.
And they're all drunk or high.
But nothing since has been seen. There have been no sightings, so they're worried.
That's because there's no crazies going near the loch.
So hopefully scrounging the bottom of the 56 square kilometre lake, or loch I should say, for dandruff and analysing it for DNA will prove something. Yeah. You never know. It'll be cool.
It would be cool if they could prove it. Then that would be awesome.
But basically, if they don't find anything, they'll just say, "Oh, yeah, DNA decomposes after." So.
Exactly. So it's kind of a bit of a pointless. Like, no offence, yeah, but I'm sure there's many a people that have had weed in there. Maybe other stuff. They go washing in there. Like, it's going to be some, like, they're going to find all this DNA from humans, and it's going to be some sort of human hybrid of about 20,000 different people. So I think I would love for there to be a Nessy, but I have a feeling it's a waste of time. Complete waste of time. Sorry to shatter your dreams, the Nessy fans.
Oh.
But as I've said many a times on this show, it's not real.
Oh.
It's not real.
But Santa's real, isn't he?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Christmas is coming.
Yeah. Oh, Christmas, love it. Get rid of this wonderful summer. Anyway, we're completely sidetracked here. I'm not going to talk about the summer. Lobster divers get a surprise. So a couple were diving for lobsters under a bridge that connects the mainland Florida to the Florida Keys when they came across something that gave them a bit of a shock. It wasn't Nessy. No, because he doesn't exist. It wasn't a pod of dolphins or even a pile of rubbish. What they found was pretty gruesome. It was human remains, Mark. Yeah, so as soon as they spotted the bones, they swam up and managed to flag down a fish and wildlife officer who luckily was on patrol in the area. That's pretty good.
Yeah. On patrol.
Yeah.
He's just dumping all the bodies.
Yeah. He's the one that did it. No, we're not speculating that. Anyway, obviously he was patrolling the area, so the bones have now been brought up to the surface and have been handed over to the medical examiner for
examining.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Like, I'm just going to go for lobsters. Oh, look, there's a human skull and some bones. Now, do you reckon, like, it was somebody jumped off?
I don't know.
I reckon it was a killer lobster. It was like, you've come down here for me, I'm having you, mate.
just like, holding him down.
Yeah. He's like...
Okay, so the next story is a 100-year-old fruitcake. So now I'm not actually talking about my uncle, who is actually a fruitcake.
Is he a fruitcake?
But a fruitcake has just been found in Antarctica. The cake in question is thought to be from the doomed Terra Nova expedition led by Robert Falcon Scott between 1910 and 1913. So although the tin
has seen better days. Don't know why it says that.
Autocorrect.
Yeah.
Although the tin has seen better days, the fruitcake inside was perfectly preserved. Apparently it still smelt fresh and could even be edible.
Just imagine that. What did you do? I just had a bit of the
100-year-old fruitcake.
Mate, my guts.
So the cake has now been in New Zealand's Canterbury Museum, where it will be added to well over 1,500 other artifacts.
Artifact? Cool. It's Weird Wednesday, don't worry.
Artifacts for conservation.
I prefer fartifacts. To be fair, if you're going to eat
It's a new
you're
term.
going to get 100-year-old farts.
I wouldn't eat it.
I would.
No.
I would eat it just to get the next month off of work because I've got seriously chronic illness.
Nah. I'm good. Okay, so have you seen our latest video, the 5 shocking dive stories? It dropped on our channel last Friday. In the video, I talk about being surrounded by sharks, not myself, someone else on Reddit, so it must be true.
No, of course.
With a dead body, golf story.
I can't you need to put your team. Artifacts golf stories. Yes, if you want to know the latest golf story.
Ghost stories and plenty of other stories. Go check it out by clicking on the link. Is it up there or down there?
It'll be up there and down there.
Cool.
So Mark, GM Salmon, a company from the US, have recently sold 5 tons of genetically engineered salmon fillets to Canada. Yeah.
So the Americans made it, and then just instead of feeding the Americans, they just went north.
Here, try this. Anyway, this is the world's first sale of GM fish for human consumption. Of course, this has got a lot of people in a bit of a tizzy. I like saying that. All the protesters and stuff, all that, this isn't natural, because it isn't. Citing health concerns, etc.
Well, it's not Soylent Green. They're not turning people into food. It's...
There is too many of us.
There's a book about that somewhere. But... hey, if you can make food out of, I know it's not nothing, but without killing fish.
Yeah, because well, I'll go on to explain what it is made out of. The salmon is made out of in a minute. But yeah, I think it's cool. I think genetically modified stuff. To be fair though, like, with the population that is going, we need more food quickly.
And to be fair, we have been doing it for years. Just instead of using science, we've just been using selective breeding. Yeah. We've been genetically modifying. Oh, okay, this grows into a big tree. I'll breed that with another big tree, and we'll get an even bigger tree. So
you're wasted here. You are wasted here. Anyway, the government scientists, the Canadian official government scientists, have gone on record saying that there is nothing wrong with eating the fish. Do not be worried about it. It's passed all the tests. It's not going to give you Alzheimer's. It's not going to give you a third eye. You're going to be fine. These fish have been modified to grow much faster than a typical salmon. They're also more resilient to colder temperatures as well. So you'll get the fish, quality meat, quicker on the plate. So rather than having to wait, they're going to like salmon farms, and rather than them spending years or whatever, it could just be a couple of months.
Oh, okay, so it still is fish. Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But in order to get them to grow faster and all that sort of thing, they've extracted DNA from 3 other fish: the Atlantic salmon. Oh, sorry, I didn't say the article, so it's fine. Atlantic salmon, ocean pout, and the Chinook salmon as well.
Cool.
So, would you eat the GM fish? Let us know in the comments below. I would. It'd be cool though. They can genetically modify it so it tastes like pizza.
Pizza fish.
Pizza fish. Yeah.
Okay, keeping it with fish, this is Drunken Goldfish. So scientists have found out that goldfish that are starved of oxygen for anything up to sort of 5 months, some of who still survive, and this has been sort of stumping scientists. They can't figure out how, basically when a lake freezes over, they have no access to fresh oxygen for months at a time over the winter months. Okay, their metabolism slows, but
how do they still survive?
So the answer is finally here. So get ready to be science, kids. When oxygen levels drop, goldfish use a set of enzymes that helps convert carbohydrates, I have a Bachelor of Science degree, into alcohol that then gets released through the gills. By doing this, they don't produce lactic acid like we do. You know, when you go on a run, you burn lots of oxygen. Lactic acid builds up. It's basically what a stitch is. And this helps them survive with very little oxygen. So now I've only really skimmed over the subject, so to understand it more, you can click on the article below. But basically, it means that these goldfish, and there's another species of, I forget the family, another species of fish. that,
Not
yeah,
that good, are you?
instead of metabolizing it normally, they turn it into alcohol, which is much easier to just get out of their system.
Rather than lactic acid, which can kill them.
Yeah.
And that's what kills us under the water, because our body goes, "Argh," and then we drown and die.
Sort of.
Yeah, that's exactly how that's science. I was going to say the word from Breaking Bad, but it's a PG show, so I can't say that. I can't even cut to it. Science, people. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, Jurassic Croc. So, a Jurassic Croc, which has recently been discovered, has been named after a famous rocker. The croc in question was 19 feet long and has a skull that measured over a metre. And it lived 145 million years ago.
Cool.
So, it's pretty recent. I thought the Earth was only 6,000 years old. Oh. Let's not go into that. Anyway, then, but what rock has it been named after? Well, none other than Lemmy from Motorhead. So the official name for this 145 million year old croc is the Lemmy Suchus. How cool is that? That's cool. Which, when it was alive, it was a part of the Telosaurus group. Telos. I say Telo. It looks Telo. Anyway, yeah, it was a part of the Telo or Telo group of reptiles, which I personally think should now be named or renamed Motorhead.
You're going to rename an entire family.
It's the Motorhead family, just because of Lemmy.
And our final story for today is about a missing journalist. So this story just keeps on getting weirder and weirder. But what we know right now is that a Swedish journalist called Kim Wall was writing a story about Mr. Madsen and his private submarine. It's not a euphemism. He actually had his own private submarine, and at one point it was the largest privately owned submarine in the world. Basically, on Thursday, they took it out for a spin, and she never came back.
Thanks, train.
So information is sketchy, but the sub sank.
It's a submarine.
It's what it's meant to do. And Kim hasn't been seen since. Mr. Madsen has been found, and he says that the submarine experienced technical difficulties and that he dropped her off before it sank. The sub has been found by divers. I think they've raised it. If not, they've sort of explored inside.
They just go now, open it up and press the buttons for it to come up.
But they didn't find her inside. So, missing inside journalist.
Missing journalist on this weird sub, homemade sub.
It's very Agatha Christie.
It is. Oh, they need to get what's her name? Murder She Wrote. Jessica Fletcher. And if they find the body, they need to get Quincy M.E. involved. And then Columbo.
NCIS because it's nail.
Yes.
Yeah.
They need to get all of those people involved. It's weird. That's just weird. Like, I'm going to do a report on this local man who's built his own submarine. It's the biggest in the... Oh, right, okay, you've now disappeared.
Yeah.
What's going on? It's weird.
Hey. And that's it for this week's Weird Wednesday. Don't forget to vote for us at this year's Diver Awards. The link is in the description below. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching and safe diving, guys.
Bye.